So for this part of the quilt, I'm going to be quilting with that heavier weight pink thread. This is a 30 weight thread from Superior. And since I'm going to be quilting on the pink, I thought I would draw it for you first. This will be a feather with just a little bit of extra thrown in because I need to get up into the pink squares. And I wanted the feathers to just be a little bit more than just a feather. So the idea being, let's say this one is pink, so I'll pass that one. This one will be a blue square. This will be pink, blue, and pink. Mhm. So starting here with the feather, remember with the feather, you want to be sure that you come, the points of it, I guess this little bottom part, you want to stay close together. You don't want it to get real fat right away because then there you go. It wouldn't look like a feather. So when you're coming back on it, I do an open feather, which means I'm not going to try to stay right on that next feather. I'm going to stay next to it. So from about here, come all the way back and then out again, making another like little skinny end to it. So what I mean by come all the way back is I'm not just going up and out, I'm going up and then coming back toward me and then going back out again. And then my third one will be the one that's a little bit different. He'll be the same kind of feather, but then I will add kind of an in and out, and I'm going into the pink square a little bit, and then come back to go into the pink. So you'll see that I did the feather, then went out and back. Now I'm back into the pink square, and in the pink square, I'll add a loop-de-doo or a coil of some sort. I'll stop and go back, and then I'll actually get these to crisscross so that it'll fill up the square a little bit and look a little bit more organic. Then come down and do those feathers again. So I'm doing 2 regular feathers, 1, 2, and then the third feather, I'm going back and forth, kind of creating, I don't know, an extra wave, if you will, and then into the pink square. Oops, I'm hitting my machine. Going back and forth, and then coming back, kind of crisscrossing those as you go, and then back to another feather. So 2 regular feathers, 1 extra feather with some waves, and then the swirl. So this is how it will look on the machine. All right, so starting right here, I'm going to first do a regular feather, then my second feather next to it. It's an open feather, so they're not touching, except for at the very, very bottom. Now on the third one, I'm going to make that feather, make it a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to create that rippling sort of a wave, back and forth, leaving just enough room. So now I can come in with the swirl and fill in that swirl, that square with the swirl. Coming back out. Now it's puffing up a little bit in the blue, but don't worry, I'll show you what we're going to do with that. As I come out again, I go to another feather. Now you'll also see that I'm working away from myself. When given the choice, which you always don't get a choice, I like to work so that what is behind me has not been quilted. If I do that, I know I'm not going to run into anything. If I work toward myself, oftentimes you don't know what's behind you. Honestly, you don't know what's behind you, and you can end up running into what you've already quilted. So I generally, when possible, like to work away from me, so going backwards. So this is my third one. So this will make that rippling, just a back and forth. And I'm going to repeat that style when I get to the outer border too, that I'll show you. And then a big swirl here, coming back. So that's what my pink feather border will look like.